So, here's a question for you. Can an AI actually get a joke? I mean, really get it. Not just, repeat the words back, but understand the feeling, the timing, the whole shared experience that makes something funny or, iconic? Well, today we're going to dive into exactly that, how researchers are putting AI to the test on one of the most human things out there, the meme.
Oh, yeah, you know this scene, right? You can practically hear the voice, feel the tone, that epic feeling behind just 4 words. I bet you've even used it yourself, maybe to jokingly guard your lunch in the office fridge or something. But here's the thing, what does an AI see when it looks at this? And way more importantly, what does it actually understand?
Okay, so let's really dig into this, because this is the heart of the mystery, right? An AI can listen to this and transcribe the words, "you shall not pass," perfectly, no problem. But does it get the defiance, the drama, all the thousands of ways we've woven it into our culture? You know? That's the billion-dollar question if we ever want to create AI that can truly connect with us. So, to figure this all out, you're going to need something more than just a standard test. You basically need a cultural IQ test for machines. A way to measure not just what they're seeing on the surface, but what they actually get deep down. And this right here, this lays out the gap perfectly. Look, AI has gotten absolutely brilliant at the surface level stuff. Identifying objects in a picture, transcribing speech, that's perception. But it's the deeper meaning where it really struggles. Think about it. The sarcasm in someone's voice, the cultural baggage of a certain song, why a silly sound effect makes us all crack up. That's true understanding. So the question is, how do you even test for that? Well, a team of researchers decided to tackle this head-on. They set out to build the ultimate exam, one designed specifically to see if an AI can navigate the messy, complex world of our culture. And here it is. It's called the AVMeme Exam. Now, the name might sound a little playful, but don't let that fool you. This is a seriously sophisticated tool. It's a benchmark built from the ground up to find out if today's most advanced AIs can really, truly resonate with us on a human level. And we're not just talking about a handful of viral clips here. No, no. This is a massive, carefully curated collection of over 1,000 iconic audio-visual memes. I mean, they've got everything from Beethoven to Nyan Cat, spanning different languages, different countries, and even different historical eras. It's the whole shebang. But what's really key here are the types of questions they're asking. It's not just, hey, what did that person say? Just look at this breakdown. A massive chunk is about contextual inference and world knowledge. This test is specifically designed to measure deep understanding, not just basic surface-level recognition. Another huge piece of this puzzle is that the exam is super audio-centric. The sound is absolutely crucial. And we're not just talking about clean, crisp speech. It includes stuff from noisy backgrounds, full-on songs, instrumental music, and even just pure sound effects. All those things that carry a ton of meaning, often without a single word being spoken. And get this, the exam is truly global in scope. Because let's be real, memes aren't just an English language thing. So it's got content from Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and a whole bunch more. Plus, there's a big slice of just non-language sounds that pretty much cross all cultural borders. This thing is a true test of multicultural intelligence. Okay, so we've got this massive, super diverse exam. Now, how do you actually grade an AI on something like this? Well, it's not just a simple pass-fail. The way they score it is designed to figure out just how deep the AI's thinking really goes. It basically works on 3 different levels. So, level 1 is what you'd call surface comprehension. Can the AI just identify what was said or heard? Pretty basic stuff. Then you get to level 2, deeper thinking. This is where it gets trickier. Can it figure out the emotion, the context, the humor? And then the final boss, level 3, cultural knowledge. Does it actually know how and why we, as people, use this meme out in the real world? All right, so this is the moment of truth. The researchers took the most advanced AIs out there, everything from open source models to the big giants like Gemini 3 Pro, and put them through this test. And the results, well, they revealed this really fascinating and super consistent pattern of strengths and, maybe more importantly, some pretty glaring weaknesses. And this is the core finding, right here, clear as day. So on language analysis, that's that first basic level of understanding, the top AIs are scoring around 85%. I mean, that's pretty impressive. But look what happens when you move up to the deeper levels.
contextual inference takes a hit, and then for world knowledge, understanding the cultural meaning, the performance just craters to around 50%. It's like they know the words, but they just don't know the world.
So that gap between knowing words and knowing the world was already huge. But then the researchers found an even bigger blind spot. It turns out the one thing that really stumped these AIs the most was sound, and specifically, sounds that didn't have a nice, neat text transcript to go along with them. So check this out. When a meme clip actually had people speaking in it, the top models were pretty solid, right around 80% accuracy. They can process the language, analyze the content, and spit out a pretty decent answer. But just watch what happens when you take those words away.
The accuracy just plummets. For clips that were only sound effects or instrumental music, even the very best AIs really struggled, with their performance dropping below 65%. What this shows is this critical dependency they have on text. It's like, without words to guide them, AIs are just lost in this sea of what to them is culturally meaningless noise.
So how does all this stack up against, us? Well, the top commercial model, Gemini 3 Pro, does really well, actually. But the best open source model is lagging pretty far behind. And here's the real kicker. Humans, even when they've never seen the meme before, can still score around 65%. That's better than a lot of these models. Our built-in cultural context just gives us this massive head start. Okay, so why does any of this actually matter? I mean, they're just memes, right? Well, it goes so much deeper than that. This isn't just about a humor gap. The researchers actually call it an empathy gap, and that is a major, major roadblock for the future of AI. Because when you get right down to it, this test isn't really about memes at all. It's a stand-in for understanding human communication in all its messy, contextual, emotional glory. Look, if we ever want AI to be a true partner, a genuinely helpful assistant, a tutor, a companion, it has to understand not just what we say, but what we actually mean. And, the researchers who built this whole thing, they put it perfectly. They said, understanding audiovisual signals is not merely about perceiving isolated sounds or images, but about connecting them to how people interpret, feel about, and use them within context and culture. Which, leaves us with this one big final question. We can build AIs that process data faster than we can even think. But what's it going to take to build one that can truly share a moment with us? An AI that doesn't just analyze a joke, but one that can genuinely laugh along because it understands why it's funny. Now that's the next frontier.